Hello and welcome to this Kerith production K2 Hall tutorial video. In this video we are going to cover all the basic operation of how to use the production equipment within the K2 Hall. There's two ways to watch this video. If you're looking for an overall refresh, or maybe you're new to using the equipment, then I'd recommend sitting back and taking in the whole video. But if you're after a refresher of just a certain section, you'll see below we've chaptered the video, so you can jump to whatever section is relevant for you. Now, let's go ahead and get started. So the first thing you'll need to do is access the key safe, which is on this left-hand pillar. Pull down the black cover, select the code that your team leader will give you, and pull down the black button, and that will give you access to the keys. So the first thing you want to do is open up the top hatch. Simply insert the key, turn it clockwise, and then gently pull the top lid open. And that will reveal all of our equipment on the production desk. And then if you need access to this lower rack, you simply use the other key, give it a turn, and that gives you access to all the production rack equipment. In this next section, we're going to be looking at the audio system. Now, we're just going to be covering the main components of the system. But if you feel you're still looking for more information, or there's something we haven't covered, then just speak to your team leader and we can look at giving you some follow-up training. Enjoy. So when you first come to the desk, the first thing you need to do is remove the dust cover. Really important we're keeping the dust cover on so we keep the desk nice and clean. Now you've come to it, you're simply going to reach round to the right hand side, and near the bottom you'll find a push switch. You push it in for on. You'll see the faders will start to light up as it does its boot up sequence. And now we've got the screen, and there we are. We are now booted up and ready to go. So next we're going to show you how to fade up a microphone and put it through the PA system. So you'll see on the scribble strip here, you've got 3 microphones. They're labelled handheld 1, handheld 2, and belt pack 1. You'll also see they're coloured, and those colours matches up with the colour coding on the microphones themselves. So when you're ready to put a microphone live, the first thing to do is you can just select it, and now on this screen you can see the level coming through. So I'm holding the green handheld, and you can see we've got lots of level coming through. And then all you simply have to do is fade it up on your fader here to whatever level you want to achieve. Now you know it's going out of the desk because you can see on our master meters here, you can see the levels are showing as we talk. So now we're going to talk a little bit more about our fader controls. So starting from the bottom, we've got our faders across the bottom here, and by simply pulling them up and down, that will give us our level control, and these are all controlled independently. Then moving up, this PK, this gives us an indication of level. So as I'm talking, you can see some of the mics are just picking up a bit of colour. That means you're getting some signal into those. The next button is called PAFL. Now that's not a feature we'll particularly use over here, but it's for if you had some headphones plugged into the desk. By selecting an input's PAFL button, you can listen to it before it's going out to the PA. Next is your select button, so if you're making any adjustments to the EQ or any settings for a particular input channel, if you hit the select button here, it will bring it up on the screen. And at the very top you've got your mute buttons, so this will just give you an overall mute of those inputs. When the mute is on, they stay red. When the mute is off, they clear. So now we've looked at our microphones, and in the next section of faders we're going to look at some of our computer inputs. So we've got 2. We've got one labelled Mac, which is the iMac at the production desk, and the second one is called Stage Laptop. So this is for a feed that might be plugged in down at the stage end. They work exactly the same as our microphones, so to get them to work you simply fade them up, make sure they're unmuted, and again if you need to make any adjustment you just select them and then use the touchscreen. On the far right hand side of the desk you have your master fader. Now normally this would be left at 0, but if you need to control the overall level of the sound and you want that to take an effect across all of your inputs, then you can use this fader to control that level. It's also, as an input, it's got its independent PA/FL button, its select button, and also a mute button. So if you want to simply mute all the PA, you can just enable that. This is a great problem-solving tip, is to check your fader. Often if you're getting no sound out of the PA, it might just be because your master fader is either muted or it's been pulled down by accident. So once you've opened up the second rack, if you go down to the second drawer down, you'll see our foam cut-out microphone drawer. So we've got our two handheld mics, left and right, and then we've got one belt pack, and then in the empty slot, that is where we're keeping our belt pack mic. So the first thing we're going to do is look at the handhelds. You simply pull them out of the foam insert, and the first thing we're going to do is stick some batteries in. So to insert batteries into these microphones, you're just going to twist the lower half of the microphone until it pops out. Close the flap down, shut the capsule back up, and twist. So that's your batteries loaded in. To turn the microphone on the base of the unit, you'll see a small red button. Just hold that in and you'll see the screen burst to life. Once the screens come on, you can release the button, and that is the microphone ready to go. On the microphone itself, there is a mic button that is illuminated red. That will always stay red. We've disabled that from having any other feature, so you don't need to worry about that. And then you get a battery level on the screen, so you know what your battery level is on your mics. And then when you're done with them, to turn them off, you simply hold down the red bottom on the base until the screen displays off, and then they're ready to go away. Next up is our belt pack microphones. So we've just got the one of them. They work slightly different to the handhelds. To insert batteries, you open up the flap and you'll see the batteries just sitting there. And here you'll also find the on and off button. So hold on off, the screen bursts into life, close up the flap, and that's your microphone ready to go. The next thing you'll need to do is attach your lapel microphone. It goes into the top. So firstly, just unwind your microphone, insert it into the top, and then you can screw up the security screw and give it a gentle pull to make sure that's locked in. And that microphone is now ready for use. You'll see on the top of the microphone there is a mute switch, so we've left this enabled. So if your presenter or speaker wants the ability to mute themselves, by simply knocking the switch into the mute section, that will mute it from coming into the desk, and you'll also see mute on the screen. To bring it back live, turn it back the other way, the mute button will clear, and then that's ready to be turned up on the sound desk. For the projector, there are two controls. The black controller is to lower and raise the projector surface. Simply just point the remote at the projector surface and press the up or down button. It will automatically stop at the correct down point and automatically stop at the correct up point. For the projector remote, simply press the red on button while pointing it towards the projector, and you'll see the projector light turn from red to green. To turn the projector off, simply double tap the red light to see the projector power down. The correct input for the projector is HDMI 1. You can select it simply by pressing the HDMI 1 button on the projector remote. In this final part of the video, we're going to look at how to control the two LED lights that are in the K2 ceiling pointing at the presenter area just at the front. That is all controlled from this computer here. So log into the computer. Down the bottom here, you'll see the icon for light key. You can click that and launch that application. It will bring you into this landing page. Now simply select K2 from the projects. And this will give you a really simple interface. In the middle here, you've got two dots. They represent the two lights that are in the ceiling. Simply drag over them to select them. And then there's two ways to control them. On the right-hand side, you can select some pre-assigned colors, like this, and they'll automatically come on and change. If you want to find your own custom color or control the intensity and brightness of the light, if we just come down to this bottom left-hand corner, underneath the design tab, you can click anywhere in the dimmer to control your dimmer from 0 to 100%. Just drag and scroll up and down. And on the right, you've got a full RGB color wheel, so you can select anywhere within the color wheel to change the colour and dial in the exact tone you're looking for. To turn the lights off, simply drag the dimmer down to the bottom and that will turn the lights off. And then when you're done with the application, simply close it down.